Today's practical is about making soluble salts, which is one of the required practicals for GCSE chemistry. Soluble salts can be made by reacting acids with bases. This is a neutralization process. The bases include metals, metal oxides, hydroxides and carbonates. Metal oxides and hydroxides can react with an acid to produce the corresponding salt and water. In this practical, we will be looking at making copper sulfate crystals by reacting sulfuric acid with copper 2 oxide. Before we start the practical, we should carry out a risk assessment. In the practical, we will be using glass equipment, so we need to handle them with care to avoid any breakages. Also, we are using chemicals such as copper 2 oxide and sulfuric acid. So safety goggles should be worn throughout the whole practical to protect our eyes. Now for this practical, we need 1 molar dilute sulfuric acid, copper 2 oxide powder, a glass rod, a spatula, filter paper, a beaker with water. This is our water bath, a funnel, a flask, a 100 centimeter cubed measuring cylinder, an evaporating basin, a tripod and gauze, a heat-proof mat and a Bunsen burner. I have already set up the tripod and gauze on a heat-proof mat, and the Bunsen burner is on at the yellow flame so that it is visible. Next, I will be heating the sulfuric acid. We need 20 centimeter cubes of sulfuric acid, which I have already measured out using the 100 centimeter cube measuring cylinder. So, I will turn the flame to a blue. And gently heat the acid. This usually takes about 30 to 40 seconds. We are heating the acid so that we can increase the rate of reaction. Okay, I think the acid is warm enough now, and I shall just turn the flame back to yellow, and now we can remove the beaker. It's not that hot, so I can still touch it. Next, I will add in the copper 2 oxide using a spatula. I will add this in small amounts. And stir it using the glass rod. You can see that the solution has turned a clear blue and all the copper 2 oxide has dissolved. Now I shall add some more. I need to add plenty so that I have some excess copper oxide at the end. Still going. can add all the copper oxide I have here. That should be enough. Okay. You can see that the solution is now no longer a clear blue colour, and you can see that there is plenty of copper oxide still undissolved in the solution. This is the excess copper oxide, and this hasn't dissolved because there is no more sulfuric acid left to react with it. At this point, the acid has completely neutralized. While this is cooling, we shall set up the next part of our practical. We take the conical flask and place the funnel inside it. Next, we need to take the filter paper and fold it in half and half again to create a cone, like this. Open it up so you've got a pocket. We should now place that in the funnel. The next step is to pour the solution in the funnel. The solution will pass through and the excess copper oxide will remain on the filter paper. We will wait till all the solution has filtered through. The solution that we will collect in the flask is what we call the filtrate. The filtration process is now complete and all the copper sulfate solution is now in the flask. I will just remove the funnel and place it into the beaker here, just to stop any dripping on the desk. Now we need to pour the copper sulfate solution into an evaporating basin so that we can now evaporate it. But first, I need to place the beaker with the water on the tripod and turn the flame to a gentle blue. Next, I will place the evaporating basin on the beaker. The steam generated from the water will help the copper sulfate solution to evaporate. Now, we're not directly heating the copper sulfate solution because excessive heat will break down the copper sulfate crystals. This will take a short while. The water from the copper sulfate solution has evaporated, leaving us a good yield of copper sulfate crystals. We can now remove the crystals onto some filter paper using a glass rod. And we can now leave them to dry further and to allow complete crystallization.